Hello there and welcome to our channel. I want to send some words of courage to our brothers and sisters back home in Cameroon. We all know what is going on there. We have lived similar events in the country before taking the back door to get out of our natural habitat, our comfort zone. We find ourselves out of our country today, but we still feel the pain that those who are on the ground are feeling, because the pain is excruciating. I don't understand how a government that is supposed to take care of the well-being of its people is the same government that is inflicting the most unadulterated pain for the past 4 decades on its people. This has become a habit. The government of Mr. Biya has it as a habit to frustrate communication each time the people will get up to tell them that enough is enough. They will frustrate communication by cutting internet supply. And then we have companies like MTN and Orange succumbing to government's threat. Yet, they suck dry Cameroonians through the data that is extremely expensive. The government has a way of intimidating Cameroonians each time they want to tell them that enough is enough. They carry out what? Selective arrest. They arrest those who are talking truth to power and they detain them. Arbitrary arrest and detention is what the government of Mr. Biya has been doing over the years. In 1992, it was done. In 2007, it was done. Leading up to 2008, February. In 2018, it was done. When Professor Maurice Kamto was arrested and detained for 9 months, a man who had won the election. In 2025, they are doing the exact thing. Wrongfully arresting people and putting them behind bars, intimidating the population with threats from a minister who is as hollow as a drum, a container without content. Minister Atangaji comes out to threaten Cameroonians with detention, and it is being done at the moment. If you go to the Grand North, Marwa, Garoua, Ngaoundere, take Garoua, where the president-elect Issa Chiroma Bakari is currently in a kind of house arrest. Thank God that the people of the Grand North have decided to protect him and are taking guard and at his residence. If not, government would have sent in their thugs to arrest him. And in the face of all this, a very credible and reputable organization in the name of the United Nations came to Cameroon, signed a partnership with the body, the organization in charge of organizing and supervising elections in Cameroon, ELECAM. The United Nations signed a partnership with ELECAM to organize a free, fair, and transparent election, 2025 presidential election. My goodness. Didn't the United Nations Google this organization to know that ELECAM is not an organization you can trust? To know that ELECAM is an arm of government? To know that the Constitutional Council, all its members, if not all, 3/4 of its members are militants of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, the ruling party. To know that the chairman of ELECAM, Eno Abrams Egbe, is a former governor of the president's region who was humiliated. Stone shot at him. He was rushed to Yaoundé. The people of the South region did not want him. I have promised not to go into that story because there are things that if I start saying here about Eno Abrams Egbe, he is a disgrace. He is a disgrace. How do they go to their houses and sleep at night, knowing that they are responsible for the predicaments of a people, close to 30 million people, a Suse, or whatever they call it? The United Nations must have seen videos in modern times as now. It is impossible for you to even spit without somebody capturing it on video. And that is what has been happening at the polling stations in Cameroon. Cameroonians were very determined this time around. Like primary school pupils who had an assignment to do for their teacher. They respected it because the primary school pupils know that if they don't do the assignment, the next day they will be flogged by their teacher. It's a similar situation with Cameroonians. It's like Cameroonians have become primary school pupils. They took the instruction from their candidate. They took the instruction, they went to the polls, they voted massively. They supervised the vote. They protected their votes. And they assisted in the vote counting. And at the end of the day, even where political parties did not send their representatives, the people were there to act on their behalf because they were ready this time around to kick out a government that has put them in an abyss of unadulterated pain, unemployment, inflation, bad medical system, poor road infrastructure, and you name it. And so, the people had the results of the polling stations. They channeled it to their different headquarters. They added up the numbers. And they were able to determine that this time around, like in the past, they have won. And they were ready to fight for their victory because facing them is a government that over the years planted a rigging machinery that is more than a rock. The people had broken it. It took 40 years and counting for the people of Cameroon to destroy that rigging machine. And now, the people are saying enough is enough. We are done with your government. We have beaten you through the ballot box. All we want is for the Constitutional Council to declare the results that came from the polling stations. Government is good at taking these numbers to the theater, to the surgery room, to carry out surgery on those numbers. And by the time the numbers come out of the surgery room, it is something else. It is in favor of the dictator, Mr. Paul Biya, who has been there for more than 40 years. And so the United Nations, you replaced the League of Nations because the League of Nations was considered a toothless bulldog. The League of Nations was considered an organization that was running very fast on the same spot. Is that what the United Nations is? No. You have to know that you made a mistake. And if Cameroon burns, the United Nations will be considered as a partner responsible for that predicament. Because the United Nations signed a partnership. But it's like they signed it and left. It's like they were never there. ELECAM did all the dirty work. There are videos everywhere. Yes, a government that respects the laws of the land, a government that plays by the rule of law. Those ELECAM officials who were caught by the people, they confessed, they apologized, they were supposed to be behind bars. Because what is happening in Cameroon at the moment is sending coal down the spine or the spines of every Cameroonian that is still a lover of his country. I told you in my previous videos that the love for country will be tested. We have seen opposition candidates in the last election, the likes of Cabra Libi, Osi Joshua Nambangi, you name them, they are not coming out to say a word while all this is happening in their country. And these are people who said they were fighting for the people. No, they were not fighting for the people. They were playing the game. They were playing the game. I put it to you that Cameroonians like us, who can talk truth to power, if we were in the country, trust me, we would have been behind bars a long time ago. I remember when the governor of the Southwest sent gendarme officers after me for asking a simple question to a minister. A question that had to do with money, because that is their problem. Where are the opposition candidates we had in the election? They have all gone incommunicado, mute, lip sealed. You know why? Because they are playing the game. They were put in the opposition camp by the ruling party. There are allegations that some of them have collected up to 1 billion francs CFA. And now all they do is they threaten people with lawsuits. Oh, we're going to sue you. I am sure that our ancestors, our forefathers, fathers of the nation, the likes of Omniobe, Wanje, Momi, they are turning in their graves. They are turning. Amadu Ahijo, you did this to us. Amadu Ahijo, you did this to us. You thought you were being a modern leader who doesn't care much about tribalism. What did you do? You handed power to a man who has no love for his people. Mr. Biya has no love for his people. All the tragedies happening in Cameroon, you will never see Mr. Biya come out and talk about it on national television. No. Mr. Biya cannot travel, be it to Ngabu, the northwest region. We have seen super presidents. And when I talk super presidents, I take, for instance, Barack Obama of the United States. That's the #1 nation in the world. When there is a disaster somewhere, he will travel there. In Ezeka, Cameroonians perished in a train accident. Mr. Biya did not care. His collaborators will sit and write a communique and put it out. Our president, we see but a picture of him. We don't see our president. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. And now they are going after their own citizens. They are going after their own citizens, arresting and detaining them just because they want to hold. Let me tell you, the only reason they are doing this is because they know that if the 93-year-old man, Biya, is not there, most of them, if not all of them, will go to prison because they have embezzled. And when accountability time shall come, the day of reckoning, Cameroon will be too hot for them. And that is why they're doing what they're doing. But this time around, it's not going to work. Cameroonians are more determined than ever before. I saw what they call him Malumba in Biya, picking some young people, these young people too, who do not even have 3 square meals. Young people who do not have 5,000 francs CFA to manage their week. They are behind him marching in Biya calling for peace. I have said it that without justice, peace cannot exist. Wherever there is injustice, peace escapes. Peace has escaped out of Cameroon because there is injustice in the land. The president's daughter, you guys think you love the president more than his daughter? I thought she was an entrepreneur. Secretary General at the presidency of the Republic, Ferdinand Gongo, will leave his office, will leave. There's so much work that they have to do to go inaugurate one stupid cosmetic store. And Brenda Biya is in Geneva. The girl came out and said it. I will not vote for my father. Do not vote Paul Biya. He doesn't care. And of course, Brenda was just speaking the minds of people who are enlightened, who know the truth. Mr. Biya doesn't care. A Zeka case, Mr. Biya did not come out on national television to send his heartfelt condolences to the families. Mr. Biya does not care. Ngabu, the same thing. Kumba massacre, where children are killed, he did not come out. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. But when I still see Cameroonians, young people especially, whose future are as bleak as a stormy night, I still see them come out to follow some guys who think that they don't love you. They are doing so because they want to keep their position, to continue stealing money while you suffer. It's a fact. I am so worried because there is nothing in that country. If a civil war should take Cameroon, reconstruction after Mr. Biya will be worse than now that he is in power. Because there is absolutely nothing in that country. When Mr. Biya took Cameroon, Cameroon was experiencing an economic boom. But he took Cameroon to an economic slum. And that is how we moved from becoming a country that the economy was buoyant to a highly indebted poor country. How did we join the HIPC? I don't understand. Cameroon became a highly indebted poor country. Pays pauvre, très endetté. How? With all the riches. How? It's a pity. But, you know, there is something. This time around, you remember the March on Washington in the 60s? The March on Washington in the 60s. The African Americans wanted to be part of the voting class. And they had to march on Washington because they had done it in Alabama and other states. This time around, they wanted to touch the capital, because when you touch the capital, you touch the heart of the administration. And so there was the March on Washington. 200,000 of them took to the streets. 200,000. And 64, the Civil Rights Act was passed. 65, the Voting Rights Act was passed. Bashar al-Assad, the dictator of Syria, was managing Syria with tight fist, ruling Syria with tight fist, ready to punch at any given opportunity. He did so from 2000 to 2024. The people started in the different provinces. And when Damascus, the capital, was touched, the dictator fell. He ran out of Syria to Russia, where he's in exile. Yes, it happened there. When Libyans were misled, the people of Libya, they were misled to think that Gaddafi is their problem. In Zintan, that's a province in Libya, and other parts of Libya, the people protested. The rebels started attacking. But when they touched Tripoli, we saw how the Pan-Africanist was killed. Unfortunately for them, Libya is what we are seeing today. A shadow of itself. The only regret is that the people were misled. They didn't see the goodness in their leader. But when the capital is touched, the leader goes. We saw it in neighboring Burkina Faso. Biya's longtime friend and ally, Blaise Compaoré, when Ouagadougou was attacked, he ran out of Burkina Faso. And thank God that Traoré, one of Africa's finest Pan-Africanists and president, is transforming Burkina Faso. No Mos, no force. In a very little while, with very little resources, He has done much for the people. We go to Egypt. Mubarak thought he was a king. He will talk arrogantly to the people. And when the people touched Cairo, the capital, Mubarak fell. Biya's longest, I don't know how to put it, his bestie, his best friend and ally, Omambongo, gave power to his son. And what happened? The people could not take it. They were disgruntled. And the capital was attacked. The president fell. We saw it in Ivory Coast. It took months. And the political capital, Abidjan, Laurent Gbagbo and his wife left Ivory Coast in regrets. Now we have Biya and his wife and family members, Ayolo, Ngongo, and they have hired an ex-convict in the name of Atanganji, who is provoking the people at every given opportunity, threatening them. When the people will get to Yaoundé, the capital, Mr. Biya will go. Inshallah, change is on its way.